Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I want to talk to you about the symptoms of Sjogren's Syndrome and what I have experienced since I, known that I had it. The way that I found out I had it, I kept going back and forth to the doctor. I had been experiencing pain in my lower back and my legs would hurt, and they would do x-rays and scans and stuff, and they kept saying they couldn't find anything wrong. They did say one time that it was sciatica, and I had a slip disc, my L5 and S something. It was I can't remember exactly, but I was being tired. I was having, dry eyes, dry mouth, and it was just a lot of things that was going on that was unexplainable. So I kept going to the rheumatoid doctor. This was after my surgery, my breast cancer surgery. And I continued to go, and he, kept running tests until he found out, what was wrong, by me describing the symptoms. And like they say, it take about 5 years for you to, be really diagnosed, because it's a hard to diagnose symptom. I mean, disorder, disease, or whatever you want to call it. And he finally diagnosed me with Sjogren's Syndrome. So when he did not diagnose me with it, I didn't believe him. I was like, I've never heard of that before. And I said, he just, he's making up something. That's crazy. But then as time went by, the dryness in my mouth and nose and my eyes, it's getting worse. And like the fatigue, the chronic fatigue, and just weakness, and just loss of concentration. And I was thinking that was because of the chemo, the after effects of chemo, as far as like the neurological problems that I was having. And that could be a part of the Sjogren's Syndrome. And when he diagnosed me with it, I have never heard of it before, and I had to do some research, and I still was in denial. And even when I would get my medicines filled and wouldn't take it unless I was, in pain, or, something was, going wrong with my body, I would take it to feel better. And still to this day, I haven't been taking it, but now I need it because I've been having flare-ups, and it's getting more and more, just uncomfortable for me. I know, a lot of times in my videos I stop and I lose train of thought, and that's, as a result of having Sjogren's Syndrome. You can't focus and do what you need to do, and get the point across. Sometimes I have to search for words to use, and it's hectic. It's it's a lot. I see people that I recognize, and I can't remember the name, or either I remember the name and can't recognize them. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. The dry mouth, I have to get these. If you watch my other video on Sjogren's Syndrome and the products that I could get to kind of relieve the discomfort, I use something called xylitol, and then for my eyes I use the I think it's Refresh eye drops, and I use I think you pronounce it as Air. It's a natural product that you could put in your nose. They have the spray and the gel that you could put in your nose, because it really gets uncomfortable. As far as having dry nose, it kind of like affects my breathing, and it can bring on an anxiety attack, because I don't have that moisture that I need. My body can't make that moisture that I need, and it's causing my skin to like really dry out. So it's a lot of things that I have to deal with. Yeah, sinuses, and and with that, drying out my nose, and then having to sleep with the CPAP machine, that kind of dries it out, my nose and my mouth also. So it's very uncomfortable. I don't wish this on anybody. Like I said in the beginning, when he diagnosed me with it, they was having a hard time diagnosing me with it. And once they finally started giving me the medicine, and it's nabumetone and the hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, it's and it was another one that they was giving me to help me sleep at night, because it gets really uncomfortable. It does, having dry mouth, it kind of affects, the way your food is digested, and you risk, with having a dry eye, you risk having infections in your eyes, and then the mucus in your stomach lining, it's not the way it should be. It's not as, normal as it should be. And and then the skin drying out. It's like I didn't have really dry skin. I used to have oily skin, but now it's becoming to be more drier. I try to get moisturizing soaps and lotions and stuff to try to, relieve the dryness, because once it's dry, it gets a little itchy sometimes, and that's, really not a good thing. So I mean, it's a chronic disease, and it's not easy to deal with. I've saw videos where people try to get disability for it, and they got denied. The thing about this is, when you have this type of issue, it's really it's really hard, because the thing about that is you lose train of thought. And if you're working on a job and you're trying to explain something, you're trying to handle this, trying to handle that, and then even in conversation with a person, you lose train of thought. You can't find the words to say, and it's embarrassing. And to me, in ways, that is a slight disability. It's and then the muscle aches, the cramps, and the pain that you have to deal with on a daily. It's it's a mess. When you're suffering with something like this, you need support. You need support dealing with this. They want you to see a dentist regularly. They want you to see an eye doctor regularly. I'm sorry. And maybe eventually a dermatologist, because of the dryness of your skin. And then the pain that comes in your body, and then when you have a flare up, it makes you feel real, just drained, tired. You can't hardly pick yourself up out of the bed in the morning. I don't know. And all this time before I was diagnosed with Sjogren's, I was thinking, well, dang, I'm through with the chemo. I should be feeling better by now. I started taking iron, because I've always been anemic. I started taking iron tablets, and every time I take vitamins, I don't care what anybody tells you, if you don't have a high adrenaline or whatever, or what is it? See, I'm losing my train of thought. But if you don't have that high metabolism, that's what I'm trying to say. If you don't have a high metabolism and you're taking vitamins and you're still tired and you're gaining weight, but you're not eating much, because it does affect your appetite also. Those vitamins is what's putting the weight on you. Well, that's what it does to me. I don't know about anybody else, because some people say when they take vitamins they lose weight or they don't gain any weight at all. So everybody's built different. I just noticed that for me to have energy or attempt to have any energy, I have to take vitamins, and I gain weight, and I barely eat. And I know it looks like it's something different, by looking at me, but I don't sit around and eat all the time. A lot of times I forget to eat because I'm not hungry. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's something that's hard to explain. They say that it's the cousin of lupus, and I know lupus patients. Oh, I know they go through so much. I have a cousin that has lupus. I have some Facebook friends that has lupus, and they catch it. They have, hard times, and I never want to deal with that, because this right here is enough in itself. A lot of people don't know about Sjogren's, and people should know, what it is, and if they have these symptoms, they need to maybe see a rheumatologist to see, if that could be the case, and not be, passive about it, to get treatment. The reason I don't like taking the medicines because of the side effects. They say it affects your liver, just different parts of your body, your organs and stuff, and I don't want that. I've been through enough with the breast cancer, so I'm getting emotional. But yeah. But this right here is, it's a mess. You don't absorb the nutrients from the foods that you eat like you should. I'm trying not to forget nothing, so I am looking at some notes. But my main thing is having neurological problems, and I don't like not being able to remember things and, think rationally, just think, like a normal person. But it's a lot of stress, and it causes you to just feel inadequate in a way. The dry eye and the dry mouth, it's a lot, because you have to constantly be drinking something, keep something in your mouth, and those little discs that I get, I have to put those in my mouth at night. You could put them in any time, but you get 40 for, I think, around $9.99 at Rite Aid. That's for anybody that suffers from dry mouth or any kind of effects of taking certain medications and stuff. That extreme fatigue, like this flare up, it's got me drained to the point where I don't want to do nothing. Yesterday was a pretty good day. I felt better, and I got out of the house for a while, and but today, I'm still a little better, but I still feel like really drained. Then like my hands, the cramping up, and just it's annoying the way my hands feel, and my legs and stuff, the pain. it's tolerable, but sometimes it's unbearable. Like the back pain that I was having when I first started seeing the rheumatoid doctor, um, it's coming back. So I know this flare is just, it's trying to take me down right now. And I have, I'm dealing with it. I hope this is not like arthritis in my hands, because I am a master cosmetologist. I'm not doing it right now, but I do want to eventually get back into it. But my hands, I haven't even been doing hair in my hand. Well, not that much. I have to, do something to my son's hair every now and then. But my hands like have been cramping up. My legs feel like they're gonna give out. And then, I haven't. When I was diagnosed, I wasn't having problems with my skin, but now I'm having problems with, just being really dry, and I'm like, just really itchy. I think I'm gonna try the Eucerin lotion to see if that works. I like Nivea, but I think I'm just gonna have to try the Eucerin or something that's, real moisturizing, because, dry, patchy, ugly skin, I don't like that. So I have to, try to get something. Sometimes you'll have the, acid reflux, and then as far as like having dry mouth, you do have like that white coating, that thrush on your tongue. I was thinking like, okay, since thrush is like a yeast, if you take yeast medications, the oral yeast medications, it might kind of combat that. I don't know. I have to look further into it. And the tooth decay that you may incur, I haven't incurred that yet, but I don't want to. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm trying to take pretty good, care of my teeth right now. But you can get, like with Sjogrens, you can get the sores in your nose, and it's a crusty little infection that can be really sore and hurt your nose or whatever. It's just a lot of parts of your body is just like really, really sensitive, like my legs feeling like they're gonna give out. That's just crazy to me, and let me see what else. Like my speech is not as clear as it used to be. I don't know, it feels like my tongue is swollen sometimes. And that is it. Okay, under your eyelids, I always tell my son it feels like, I don't know if you used to watch the cartoons where the eyes, was it Tom and Jerry? I can't remember, where the eyes would like crackle up and you see those lines and like crackly skin type thing. That's what your eyelids feel like. And there is an ointment that my eye doctor recommended that I get. That stuff that he recommended me, the drops, the ointment and all that stuff is rather expensive, but it's well worth it, because you need that comfort. So I'm just saying, I'm having this flare up, and I know it's nothing like lupus, and I hate that people have to go through those things dealing with lupus, but it is a chronic autoimmune disease, and if you have any of those symptoms, even though they seem minor, if you go without getting some type of treatment for it, it could possibly get worse. So I think you just need to go and get it checked out. And if the doctors are telling you that they're not finding anything and you know something's wrong, just keep continuing to go like I did. A lot of people will look at you crazy and say, ain't nothing wrong with her, she looks fine. But looking at somebody, and, you can't really tell what they're going through. You just can't assume that a person is fine just by looking at their outer appearance. That's why I had to continue to go and complain about this pain in my lower back, because they was doing tests and scans and stuff, and they said it was scoliosis. They came up with other things, and then they finally, the last thing that they came up with was Sjogrens Syndrome. And it's something that attacks your moisture glands and your white blood cells, and it's very annoying to have been through breast cancer twice, and being anemic all your life, and you're already that always tired because of that. But then when they come up with something else, and like I said, I was in denial for a long time, but then I had to go ahead and accept the fact that that's what it is. And I've researched, and I see other people like Venus Williams, she has it, and a lot of people deal with it pretty well, but a lot of people don't, because it's a burden. It's another burden on you. Like I said, the thinking process is not as good as it should be, because of that. I don't know. I guess I don't know what causes that. To affect your neurological well-being, but it could be just the attack on your white blood cells. I don't know. But it's best to, that brain fog that you have, it's just best to do things that are kind of like word puzzles and stuff that kind of keep you focused, in like word games and, games on your tablet, phones, or whatever. It's just something that'll keep you, kind of keep you going up in there. Like I said, I lose train of thought. I misquote some things sometimes, and it's not intentional. It's not that I'm trying to, say something that's a lie, because it's not. It's just I'm thinking one thing, but another thing rolls off my tongue sometimes, and people from the outside looking in that don't deal with this wouldn't understand, and they would rather say negative things about you because they don't know what you're going through mentally, and what your neurological problems are at that time, because they don't know your health issues. The concentration and the memory loss is something that just happens, with this. It's just a side effect with it. And like I said before, I thought it was an after effect of the chemo. I don't know how long the brain fog after chemo lasts, but some say up to 10 years. Some say, you just never get rid of it. I don't know. But right now, I think it's a combination for me with both the after effects of chemo and having Sjogren's syndrome. So, people are gonna say stuff. They're gonna, you risk having certain issues like the reoccurrent bronchitis, pneumonia, certain types of lung irritations, and arthritis and muscle pain. That's right now, like, I'm walking with sort of a limp. I'm trying to walk normal so that people won't notice, but I'm kind of a big girl, so it's kind of hard not to notice that, okay, she walking with some type of limp or something going on. Well, and the stomach issues, you do have a little like pains in your stomach, like stomach discomfort, like some kind of gastro um I don't know how to pronounce that word, but um internal, whatever it is, it's a little discomfort in there every now and then, and it's probably because you don't have a lot of moisture in the lining in your stomach. I don't, I'm just guessing because I'm dealing with this stuff right now, and you do have vaginal dryness, which is not a problem for me because I'm not active right now. So, um, and sometimes you wake up and you'll have a little blood in your nose, or some of the foods that you eat. Like yesterday, I ate, what did I eat that didn't? Oh, I was trying to eat some macaroni and cheese, Velveeta shells and cheese. Normally they're good, but yesterday they just tasted horrible, so I had to dump that out because it was nasty. Um, it messes with your taste buds. But then that was something that I went through during my chemo, having like nasty taste and metallic taste and food in my mouth. Um, yeah, and it's like the pain that was in my body. It's not nerve ending pain, but it's like a nerve that's in there. It's some kind of, I guess, a muscle nerve. I don't know, but that pain is really annoying. And I tried to get my doctor, my primary doctor, to call me something in for it, but he would rather for me to see, my rheumatoid doctor, but I can't afford that right now. So, and I understand, his concern about me seeing my regular doctor that I would see for that to get that prescription filled. But yeah, it's not happening right now. So I did go yesterday to Walmart and get me some Aleve to help relieve that pain. And I just take that as needed. If it's something that I could tolerate, I'll just, go ahead and just deal with it. But if it's, beginning to be worse, I'll take the Aleve. And if you guys know anything about the best skin moisturizing treatment, anything to moisturize my mouth besides those discs that I have for my mouth and my eyes, any suggestions, if you're going through Sjogren's Syndrome, just give me that information. There is somebody on YouTube that, what's her name? I'm trying to think of her name. The Life of Mom, or Mom's Life, or I forgot her name, but she's a regular, doing her video, uploading her videos about Sjogren's Syndrome and the effects of it and what she's dealing with. And I think she said something about a CDC oil. But if you've tried that, just let me know. Because I know she said it's like a hemp oil. I may be willing to try that. Kind of skeptical because I don't know, how I'll react to it. But whatever you can, like, let me know of that's natural, and don't have any chemicals in it, I'm willing to look into it to see if I want to try it. Oh yeah, and it does says peripheral neuropathy, the numbness and tingling in your extremities. So I have had that. Yeah, so yeah. So if any of you know anything that I could use or try to use that'll, better my well-being and make me feel better and more proactive in my everyday life, just let me know. I know this kind of, illness may be, simple or not that important to you guys, but to me it is, because it's affecting how I perform on jobs and just, anything, because sometimes the flare-ups, they come out of nowhere. Like, you could be feeling great one day, and then the next few days or weeks or whatever, you're feeling like you're in the dumps. Just it's just unexplainable. You would have to go through it to see what I mean about it. But yeah, just let me know if you know of anything that I could use to kind of relieve the dry, itchy skin, the dry eye, besides what I already have and that I showed in my first Sjogrens Syndrome video. The products that I had. As far as the nose, I use that natural product. It works pretty good. And it's called AYR Air, and I get it from Walmart. And I know Fred sell it. I don't know. I think Walgreens may have it. Rite Aid may have it, but it's more expensive at those stores. I like to get it at Walmart or Fred's. But and I have, like, because your ears are going to be dry too. I have to put Vaseline behind my ears. It's just, I don't know. It's just, if they found a cure, I would be happy to jump on the bandwagon and do a trial medicine or something to see what's gonna work, and if it's gonna work for me, I'll be very glad to try that medicine and get rid of this, if it's something that's gonna alleviate all of those symptoms and all of those agonizing symptoms of having Sjogren's syndrome, and restore my white blood cells and my moisture glands. I would be definitely ready to try it out just to see. Let me see if I can show you a picture of what it looks like. See if I can see a picture of all the areas that it affects. So it is a real disease. It is a real diagnosis. So just look into it. I know it's a funny name. Let me see. And I know this video is rather long, so, but if you're going through these symptoms, you may want to check this video out and see what you can use for it. Yeah, because having any type of autoimmune disease, it puts you at risk of having other issues in your body. So yeah, if there's any type of thing that I could use to kind of alleviate what I'm going through, and a trial thing that I could do to see if there's a cure for this, or close to a cure, just put it in the comment section below and let me know. And thank you for your patience with me talking so slow and just talking about what I'm going through right now. I'm still feeling really tired, and like I said, the past couple of days I've been having the lower back pain, but when the flare-ups first started, I was having like this pain in my hands, where my hand was like cramping up and feeling like, I don't know, my legs feeling like they were going to give out. So hopefully something will come up to where I could feel better. I do take vitamin D and vitamin E, vitamin C. I try to take a lot of vitamins so I could feel better. But hopefully something will come along that'll put me in a space where I can be happy on all my videos and happy go lucky. But just check it out and see, if you have any of those symptoms, just make sure, you're okay. You don't have any autoimmune disorder. Thank you for watching, and you have a blessed day. Bye bye.